Hey gang, today we're going to talk about finding the slope given the graph of a line on a grid. So if you remember, the slope is the steepness of a line, but slope is also the rise over the run, and it's the change in y over the change in x. So these two, rise is the change in the y values, and the run is the change in the x values. And we're going to look at how to find slope using both of these definitions, okay? So let's first talk about the rise over the run. So the rise is going to be the y values and the run is going to be the x values, and so we're going to do what's called counting the rise over the run. Okay, so we're going to count the rise over the run. So let's go over to our graph and check out what that actually means. Remember we said the rise is the y values and the run is the change in the x values. So we're going to count the rise here. So our rise is, we're going to start from this point and we're going to count to where we think the next point happens. And if you see, it happens at 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's our rise. Oops. Let's make this a little neater. So our rise was 3. Okay. Our run is going to be our difference in x values. So we're going to count from this point here over to where that x is. So we're going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our run is 7. So to put my slope together, I'm going to put the rise, which was 3, over the run, which is 7. And so that's how you count the rise over the run. The second way you can do it is finding the change in y over the change in x. Okay? So another thing, some more terminology we need to talk about is there's a formula to find the slope. So maybe you're not given the graph and it takes too long to graph it anyway. So we're also going to say that slope equals m and this equals y minus y. We're going to say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so you're like, what are these x's and y's? And well, let's look at them. Every point up here is x comma y. So we're going to name our points. Let's name this point 1. And let's name this point 2. Because that'll give us our x1 and our y1 and our x2 and our y2. So point 1 is the point -4, 1. And point 2 is the point 3, 4. So now we can go through and we can name our points x1 and y1. So we have x1 and y1. Oops. Sorry, that's not y1. This is y1 right here. And x2 and y2. Now we can go put these into our formula to find our slope. So it says y2 minus y1. So first we'll say slope equals y2. So y2 is 4 minus y1, which is 1, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is negative 4. So minus negative 4. And now we do some simple subtraction. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus negative 4 is 7 by changing to add the opposite. And that's how we find slope, guys. You can count the rise over the run, or you can follow the formula here by plugging the x1 and y1 into where it belongs. And remember, it's always y over x. See how here we've had y over x, changing y, we're changing x. So we have to remember to keep that consistent.